Hello, my name is Tony TKO Kelly, fighting out of Rapid City, South Dakota, representing Team Militich, South Dakota. You've seen me here before, you know what I can do. I'm fighting a worthy opponent. Hopefully you like the show.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner.
I'm Brian Christena. I'm fighting Tony Kelly tonight, and fight out Innovative Martial Arts, Tom Johnson. And I'm planning on having fun tonight. I want to thank my wife and my children and all my friends for coming out and supporting me, and I hope everybody has fun tonight. Thanks.
And so we have arrived at the co-main event of the evening. Tony TKO Kelly fighting out of Rapid City, South Dakota, 1-0 as a professional, representing Team Scorpion and Militich, and Brian Christena, 1-0 as a professional, fighting out of Innovative Martial Arts, much anticipated. Jerome Locke in the center of the action signals to both fighters this fight scheduled for 2 5-minute rounds. He signaled, and it seemed like we were underway, and now we are. Both fighters touch gloves, and we are off. And a big overhand cross by Brian Christena, and he's going to try to take Tony Kelly down, and down they go. They're underneath the ring ropes. Jerome Locke stops the bout to try to pull them out as Tony Kelly crosses over a leg and works from half guard, does Brian Christena. And now strikes to the ribs of Tony Kelly by Brian Christena. Christena is a former weightlifter. He still weightlifts and trains fighters, or rather weightlifters, but now he is fighting in mixed martial arts, where he has been under the tutelage of Tom Johnson and Innovative Martial Arts. Tony Kelly, long been a kickdown veteran, and kickboxing is what he is known best as, but he is 1-0 as a professional mixed martial arts fighter. Brian Christena works from the half guard of Tony Kelly. He lands strikes to the ribs, and referee Jerome Locke looks on as they approach the underside of the white ring rope. Strikes continue to be applied to the ribs of Tony Kelly, and now Jerome Locke will reposition both fighters away from the ring ropes. And now cross face in, and forearms being applied by Brian Christena, and Tony Kelly tries to get out, and he works for what could be a side choke on Brian Christena. Christena now tries to peel away the arm and strikes the head of Tony Kelly. Several shots are being applied by Bam Bam, as he is known. Brian Christena now tries to shoot over and past the guard of Tony Kelly, and he has worked his way into another half guard, closed half guard position by Tony Kelly. Kelly, no stranger to fighting. He has been around a long time. He has fought as an amateur in the kickdown, where he is the former modified Muay Thai heavyweight champion in the amateur division. He got his first victory at a recent kickdown in mixed martial arts. Both fighters are undefeated. Brian Christena continues to work the strikes to the ribs of Tony Kelly, and he has maintained a dominant position in this opening round. This bout scheduled for 2 5-minute rounds. Jerome Locke looks on, and Brian Christena works again, and now Jerome Locke pulls both fighters up, and now he will reposition them in the center of the kickdown ring, where Brian Christena will work from the half-closed guard of Tony Kelly. Cross face in, blade in, by Brian Christena, and strikes to the head being landed, and Tony Kelly just works patiently from his back. Brian Christena now being told by his corners to pass the guard of Tony Kelly in this opening round. And now he's got the forearm in, and he lands some shots to the ribs, does Brian Christena. And now a couple of shots to the face of Tony Kelly by Brian Christena. And a big forearm, 1-2 land by Brian Christena. Tony Kelly works his head out of harm's way, but then the strikes continue to the ribs of Tony Kelly by Brian Christena. Christena with a pretty dominant opening round thus far in this fight between the two. Both come in heavyweight. Brian Christena continues to work with the forearm to the face of Tony Kelly. And now more rib strikes or strikes to the body. And now Tony Kelly reverses, and now Brian Christena works from the bottom, and strikes are being landed now by Tony Kelly. Kelly tried to work, and then he gets out, and now some stand-up being applied by Tony Kelly. And now Brian Christena takes him back down to the ground and strikes to the ribs. There momentarily, Tony Kelly was doing well from the stand-up position, but Christena, not wanting any part of that, takes him right back down to the ground, and that's where we are right here in the opening round. Kickdown 29, co-main event. Brian Bam Bam Christena, Tony TKO Kelly in a heavyweight fight, and the first round has come to an end. Seconds out to start this second round, scheduled for 2 5-minute rounds. If it would go to an overtime round or a draw, we would go to an overhand. Leg kicks applied by Tony Kelly, another leg kick, and then they exchange with some combinations right here to open this second round. They clinch up. Tony Kelly now has Brian Christena in a standing guillotine. Now Brian Christena works out of that and holds the right arm of Tony Kelly. Kelly landed a couple of knees there, and now they work standing right here. And a leg kick attempt by Brian Christena. And then a big shot by Tony Kelly, and Brian Christena has been knocked out in this second round. The winner, it looks like, will be Tony Kelly. He was being dominated and lands a big overhand right, and this bout is over.